As we entered into the season of Lent, we reflected together on what it means to be plunged. And by that, we tried to reclaim the baptismal origins of this Lenten journey. And we tried to understand the connection between Lent and our own baptism. As Lent is a call to conversion, to a closer, personal, and intimate relationship with Jesus, we realize that's what baptism is about. And so we started reflecting the first Sunday of Lent on scarcity and abundance. Scarcity as presented by the desert, and abundance as promised to us by the Lord's own relationship with us. And last weekend, we reflected together on transfiguration of the Lord and how you and I are called to be transformed, to be changed, to grow up, to be different, to be another Christ. And today, the gospel, together with the first reading, invites us to come to the Lord, to eat of Him and to drink from Him and to satisfy our hunger and thirst. And so, in a nutshell, the liturgy of the day is about two thirsts, a human thirst and a divine thirst. Call it a human hunger and a divine hunger. And when the two of them come together, there is salvation, satisfaction. There is a key to unlocking the passage of the day. When you go through the scriptures and you are presented a scene at the well, and there is a woman and a man comes by, you and I are invited to sit back and take a loving look at that love scene. That's what happens when Moses comes to the well and meets his future bride. They fall in love, and they live in love ever happily afterwards through all the trials that come their way. And once again, it is at a well that Isaac would meet his wife Rebekah. And that is yet another love story. Believe me, it's at a well that Jacob would meet his sweetheart Rachel. And they fall in love. And the rest is history. And so today, when Jesus is at the well, and the Samaritan woman comes there, and she is a stand-in for you and for me, what the Lord invites us is to fall in love with Him. You're all here so early. You beat the clock. You broke the time. You are beyond time and space, and you are here for Mass, 1 hour ahead. And yet, I ask you, what brings you here? Is it your conscience? Is it your tradition? Is it an obligation, Sunday obligation? Is it that Catholic guilt? Or do you wake up and come here with love, as though on a date to be with someone, to meet someone? I wish we people would break out of our Catholic guilt and do what we do, the right thing, for the right reason. If only you and I can develop that personal, intimate relationship with the Lord. Now pause for a while and think of a father who sends his own son for you. He loves you so much. And look at the son. He dies on the cross. all out of love for you. And how do you reciprocate that love? That's what I ask you. Are you hungry for Him? Are you thirsty for Him? Are you willing to meet Him at the well and fall head over heels in love with Him and stay in love for the rest of your life till death doth part you? And He says, even death will not part you from me. I have overcome death. And so, the next time you set your clock on Saturday night, tell yourself that you are getting up and going on a date to meet someone who's in love with you, someone that you love, someone with whom you have a personal and intimate relationship with. That's what the readings are about. You know, that thirst that the Israelites have in the desert and God quenching it is a typology. That thirst stands for that yearning, that longing, that love in their heart. And what do you yearn for? When Jesus asks you, and He asks so many times in the New Testament, what do you want of me? What do you want me to do for you? What do you ask of me? We should be able to say, I want to love you with all my heart, with all my soul, with all my strength, with all my might. That's what it means to meet Christ at the well. Maybe you people don't have an experience of going to the well. Well, I used to draw water as a little boy, not anymore, because the well is all covered now. But when you go to the faucet tomorrow, or when you go to the cooler, when you go to the water dispenser, think about it. As you quench your thirst, think of that yearning, that longing. The psalmist would say it so beautifully, my soul longs for you. On my bed I remember you. On you I muse through the night, for you have been my help. In the shadow of your wings I rejoice. Or elsewhere he would say, as a deer that thirsts for running streams, so my soul is thirsting for you, my God. That Samaritan woman is you, and you. That Samaritan woman is me. She is a stand-in for the whole of humanity. We run helter-skelter, hurry-scurry. We try to fill our lives with things, with relationships, with power, honor, and glory, and pleasure. And we still continue to hunger. We continue to thirst. And we keep going to this well, that well, and the other well. And it's not well with us. But let's come to the living waters, the one who quenches our thirst, one who satisfies our hunger, not with any water, not with any food, but with His own body and blood. Now tell me, how can you not fall in love with such a God? How can you not believe that God has a personal and intimate one-on-one relationship with you? Otherwise, what a foolish God He must be to sacrifice His own Son for you, who don't believe that He has a relationship with you. If you forget all that I told you, just remember this. God is in love with you. And when are you going to reciprocate that love? Our God is a God who's worth falling in love head over heels, because that's how He loves us. And that's what these readings are about. That's what this Eucharist is about, that we celebrate each day. And so, sisters and brothers, let us love the Lord with all our heart, with all our soul, with all our might. And this Christ, even from the cross, would say, I thirst, not for a drink, but for your love, and for my love, for our love. And that is why He would come down as one of us. We are a hungry people, a thirsty people, a people whose hunger and thirst can be satisfied and quenched only by God. And that is why St. Augustine would say, our hearts are made for you, O Lord, and our hearts will be restless until they rest in you. And so what do we need to know today? That we are a hungry people, that we are a thirsty people. And what are we doing about it? Looking for things, looking for relationships, looking for honor and glory and pleasure. And what do we need to do? We need to come to the Lord. We need to begin a relationship with Him, who's already in a relationship with us. Let's pause for a while and pray for this grace. God is here at the well, waiting for you and for me. How about coming to the well and drinking the living water and having our thirst quenched?